Night always came early in the slums of Zithara 9, especially in Sector 12, where the sky looked like a cracked metal roof. The streets were narrow, the lights flickered like dying fireflies, and the smell of burned wires never left the air. No one walked here unless they were desperate. Or hiding. Aaron, a young human engineer, was both. He walked home after a long shift, his tool bag hanging from his shoulder. Most humans in the upper levels enjoyed clean rooms, warm meals, and bright streets. But Aaron wasn't one of them. He worked near the waste processing area, where broken machines and dangerous gases filled the air. His job was simple: fix supply lines, keep the machines alive, and leave before the slum gangs woke up. But tonight, something felt wrong. As Aaron passed the old dumpster station, he heard a soft sound. Not metal. Not machines. Not rats. A cough. A small painful cough that made him stop. Aaron froze. Sector 12 was not a place where mothers brought children. It was too risky. Too dirty. Too cruel. He heard it again. A second weak cough. Then a whisper. Mama. It hurts. Aaron slowly stepped closer. The dumpster station had a metal door that was half broken. Light from a street lamp hit the cracks, revealing shadows inside. He pushed the door gently. What he saw made his heart tighten. A thin alien woman sat on the cold floor, her back pressed against the rusted wall. Her name, though Aaron didn't know it yet, was Leora. She looked exhausted, her skin pale and marked with signs of hunger. In her hands, she held a small metallic packet, an expired food pack thrown away by the factories above. Beside her sat a tiny girl with large, silver eyes and soft blue skin. Mira. She was trembling, her stomach cramping, her lips dry and cracked. Aaron stepped back. He knew the truth. Expired human food could kill their species. Don't eat that, he said softly. Leora looked up fast, her eyes filled with fear. She pulled the child close, as if Aaron was a monster ready to harm them. Humans had a dark reputation on Zithara 9. Stories said they were cold, ruthless, dangerous. Leora had heard these stories all her life. Please. Don't take her, she whispered. Aaron raised his hand slowly. I'm not here to hurt you. Leora tried to hide the food pack, but Myra's tiny fingers were already lifting it to her mouth. The little girl was starving. Her small body shook with each breath. Stop her, Aaron said urgently. Leora tried, but Mira was too hungry. She bit into the green molded edge of the expired food. Within seconds, her eyes widened in pain, and she dropped it. Mama. It burns. Aaron's chest tightened. He recognized the symptoms: toxic reaction. Humans might survive expired packs, but alien bodies could not. Give her to me, he said. No. Leora screamed, pulling Mira away. Humans harm us. Aaron crouched down, keeping his distance. If she swallowed even a little, she needs help. Real help. Mira let out another weak cough. Her small body curled like she was trying to hide from the pain. Leora broke. Tears rolled down her cheeks. For the first time, pure fear left her voice. Please. Help my child. Aaron moved quickly. He lifted Mira gently. She was lighter than a blanket. Her heartbeat was fast and weak. Leora stood behind him, shaking, unsure whether to trust him or run. Follow me, Aaron said. But before they could move even one step, a sharp mechanical noise echoed above them. A patrol drone hovered down, scanning the area with red lights. Its robotic voice boomed. Unauthorized alien citizens detected. Illegal food theft in progress. Leora gasped. Drones didn't arrest aliens. They punished them, harshly, often publicly. The drone's laser targeted Leora and Mira. Aaron stepped in front of them instantly. Human citizen recognized. The drone said. Aaron soulless. Why are you hiding these aliens? Aaron swallowed hard. One wrong word, and the drone would take them. Mira would die long before reaching any medical center. Leora might disappear forever. Aaron forced himself to breathe. Then he said the biggest lie of his life. They're not hiding. They're under my work protection. They belong to my repair team. A bright red scan washed over all three of them. Leora squeezed her eyes shut. Mira wheezed softly in Aaron's arms. The drone paused. Calculating. Arin didn't blink. Finally, the drone said, "Temporary approval granted. Report this unit tomorrow for verification. Failure will result in termination." Then it flew away. Silence filled the station. Leora fell to her knees. Why did you save us?" Aaron looked at Mira in his arms, her breathing slowing, her skin turning a dangerous shade of pale blue. "Because," he said quietly, "I couldn't save my sister. But maybe I can save her." Leora looked at him with shock. Aaron stepped closer to her. "We don't have time. If we stay here, she won't survive. Come with me." He carried Mira out of the dark station, and Leora followed, torn between fear and hope. But just as they reached the corner, a heavy knock echoed across the metal street. Someone was standing near Aaron's door. Someone waiting, someone who should not be there. Aaron froze, and the real danger began. Aaron stopped at the corner of the metal street. Mira still in his arms, Leora right behind him. The slums were silent, too silent, as if the shadows themselves were watching. The door to Aaron's small room was only a few steps away. But someone was standing in front of it. A tall figure. Uniformed. Holding a scanner. Aaron's heart dropped. It was Inspector Huffle, one of the strict human officers who worked for the Upper Regulation Authority. Huffle didn't patrol this area without a reason. His visits always meant danger, investigation, or arrests. The inspector turned slowly at the sound of their footsteps. His eyes narrowed when he saw Aaron holding something, or rather, someone. "Aaron Solis," Huffle said in a cold voice. "You are late for inspections." Aaron stood still, trying to control his breathing. Mira whimpered quietly. Leora pulled her hood over her face, trying to hide her alien features. Huffle stepped closer. "What are you carrying?" he asked. Arin forced a smile. "Just broken equipment from the waste station." Huffle arched a brow. "That does not look like equipment." Aaron shifted his arms slightly, hiding Mira's face. "It's covered in insulation cloth. Hazardous material. I need to take it inside." Huffle didn't look convinced. He lifted his scanner. "Then allow me to verify." The scanner flashed red before Aaron could speak. A warning beep rang out. "Non-human heat signatures detected." The scanner announced. Leora gasped softly. Aaron stepped back, placing himself between Huffle and the mother-daughter. "Aaron," Huffle said sharply, "explain this." Aaron's mind raced. If he told the truth, Mira would die within hours. Leora would be taken. And Aaron himself would be punished for protecting the legal aliens. He remembered his sister, small, weak, dying in his arms after a failed supply shortage. No one helped him. No one cared. Not again. "I already told the drone patrol," Arin said confidently. "They're under my work protection." "New assistants." Huffle's expression darkened. "Assistants? You, an engineer in Sector 12, suddenly hired alien workers without approval?" Aaron forced himself to nod. "Maintenance work. They help sort damaged supply packs. It's legal under Emergency Labor Act." Huffle frowned. Emergency Labor Act ended last month. Aaron froze inside. But he kept his voice steady. "Then I filed the request before it ended." Huffle studied him carefully. Aaron didn't blink. Leora stayed silent. Mira's breathing was shallow but quiet. The inspector stepped closer. "Show me the girl's face." Aaron took a deep breath. If he turned Mira's face now, everything would end. "I can't," he said firmly. The toxic fumes affected her. She needs rest, not inspection beams. Hoffel raised a brow again. He wasn't a cruel man, but he was strict and trained to catch lies. He turned to Leora. And you? State your name and sector of origin. Leora's hands trembled. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Aaron stepped in quickly. She doesn't speak standard human yet. Language delay. Hoffel exhaled sharply. Then he walked past Aaron and pushed open the door to Aaron's room. Aaron's stomach tightened. If Hoffel found anything suspicious inside, an extra blanket, alien belongings, anything, the lie would fall apart. The inspector scanned the room slowly. Everything looked normal. Messy tools, wires, old ration packets, a small bed, and one chair. Then the scanner beeped again. Hoffel lifted it. Strange, he murmured. There was a second heat signature inside this room earlier. Leora froze. She remembered she had taken refuge here before Aaron returned. Aaron quickly spoke. A malfunction. This device glitches in cold areas. Hoffel tapped the scanner, annoyed. Yes, it does glitch sometimes. Aaron released a quiet breath. Finally, Hoffel closed the scanner. Very well. I will not file a violation report yet. But be aware, Aaron Solis. If I find you hiding aliens or breaking regulations. He paused, staring straight into Aaron's eyes. You will lose your license. And your freedom. Aaron nodded stiffly. Understood. The inspector stepped out of the doorway and walked away into the metal streets. His boots echoing like distant thunder. As soon as he was gone, Leora collapsed inside the room, shaking with relief. Aaron placed Mira gently on his small bed. She curled into the blanket, still breathing painfully fast. Thank you, Leora whispered, her voice weak. You risked everything. Aaron didn't answer at first. He checked Mira's pulse, still weak, but steady. She needs treatment, Aaron said. Real treatment. Not the cheap clinics in Sector 12, Leora lowered her head. We cannot afford treatment. And aliens are not accepted in upper clinics. Aaron looked at her. I know someone. A healer. Illegal. But skilled. Leora's eyes widened. Illegal? Aaron nodded. Only way. Mira won't survive the night. Leora looked at her daughter. Then at Aaron, a human she once feared. Now he was their only chance. Then take us, she whispered. Rin opened the door again. But somewhere in the slums. Metal footsteps echoed, more drones, more. Danger. And the lie Aaron told was only the beginning. Asterisk. Aaron led Leora and Mira carefully through the narrow pathways of Sector 12. The slum streets were alive with danger, creaking pipes above, leaking steam vents below, and metallic shadows that moved like predators. Leora held Mira close, wrapping her in the cloak Aaron had given. The child's breathing was shallow, her skin turning pale blue. A sign the poison from the expired food was spreading. Aaron knew time was running out. They reached a broken service hatch behind an abandoned power station. It was small, covered in grime, and half sealed with old screws. This way, Aaron whispered. Leora stared at the tiny opening. Through there? That is where you hide us? It's safer inside than out here, Aaron replied. Inspector Hoffel is still nearby. If the drones come again, they'll scan the streets. Leora swallowed hard. Every step she took toward Aaron required trust she never thought she'd give a human. Aaron unscrewed the hatch and crawled in first. Inside was a narrow maintenance shaft, dimly lit by flickering emergency lights. Thick wires ran along the wall, humming with low electricity. Come, he said softly. Leora crawled in with Mira trembling in her arms. The shaft was cold, metallic, and smelled like dust and old circuits. As soon as they settled inside, Aaron pulled the hatch closed again. For a moment, there was silence, only Mayra's soft whimpers. Then Aaron pulled out a small scanner from his belt. He pointed it at Mira's chest. The screen flashed red. "Toxin level rising," Aaron murmured. "Her body is fighting it but losing strength." Leora placed her hand over Myra's forehead. "Please, my little one. Hold on." Aaron lowered the scanner and looked at Leora. "We need to reach the healer in the old supply zone, but we can't move yet. Inspector Huffle will sweep the area." Leora hugged Mira tightly. "I didn't want to come here," she whispered. "We left our home hoping for work, hoping for safety, but all we found was hunger." Aaron listened quietly. He could hear the pain in her voice, not just physical, but emotional wounds long buried. Leora looked at him. "Why did you help us?" "Humans do not risk themselves for others." "Because not all humans are the same," Aaron said. "Some of us still remember what compassion feels like." Leora blinked, unsure how to respond, before they could speak further. Heavy footsteps echoed outside the hatch. Aaron froze. Leora instantly wrapped her arms around Mira, covering the girl's glowing skin with her cloak. A voice echoed outside, deep and mechanical. "Heat signatures detected. Searching." "A drone," Aaron mouthed silently. "Stay quiet." The drone scanned the hallway outside. A red beam flickered under the hatch, lighting the floor where Aaron's hand rested. He pulled his hand back quickly. For 10 long seconds, the beam scanned across the metal surface. Aaron held his breath. Then the beam stopped. The drone's speaker crackled. "Additional heat signature detected inside nearby residence. Verifying." Aaron's eyes widened. They were going to check his room. "We need to go," Aaron whispered urgently. "Now." "But the drone," Leora began. "If they go to my room and don't find us, they'll search everywhere. The healer is our only chance." Aaron crawled forward through the shaft. Leora followed, holding Mira carefully. The shaft opened into a small side tunnel that led deeper into the underground. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. Myra's breathing turned weaker. Leora's voice shook. "She's getting worse." Aaron turned on a dim wrist light. "Just a little more. The safe spot is close." They reached a wider passage where Aaron kept hidden supplies, blankets, water, emergency kits. He gently placed Mira down on a soft cloth. The girl shivered, her fingers trembling. Aaron opened one of his storage boxes and pulled out a pack of energy gel, a mild human supplement that sometimes helped alien kids. He offered it to Liora. Liora hesitated. "Is it safe for her?" Aaron nodded. "It's the safest thing I have right now." Leora gently touched it to Myra's lips. The child swallowed weakly, then coughed, but some color returned to her face. Aaron let out a small sigh of relief, but before they could rest, a loud metallic clang echoed through the tunnels. Aaron stiffened. Someone opened the main hatch. Leora's eyes widened. "The drones?" Aaron listened carefully. Footsteps echoed again, not metal, not robotic. Human. And not just one pair. Multiple. Arin whispered, "Inspection team. They're searching the tunnels." Leora held Mira close. "What do we do?" Aaron grabbed his bag and slung it over his shoulder. "We run, quietly, no talking, no stopping." He pulled open another hidden exit, a circular vent that led toward the old sewer lines. "Through here," Aaron said. Leora climbed in first with Myra. Aaron followed, closing the vent behind them. As they crawled deeper into the darkness, Leora whispered one question that cut through the silence. "Aaron, if they catch us, what will they do?" Aaron didn't turn back. "We don't let them catch us." He kept crawling, his heart pounding, behind them. The search team's flashlights lit the tunnel they had just escaped from. They were hunting, and Aaron's tiny lie had triggered a storm. He could no longer stop. the deeper Aaron. Leora and Mira crawled into the old sewer lines. The colder the air became. The metal walls were wet with condensation, and the dim emergency lights flickered like fading stars. Every sound echoed, every footstep, every breath, every soft whimper from Mira. Ian kept moving forward, his jaw tight. He knew these tunnels well. He used them years ago when the slum riots broke out. They were dangerous, but they were also the best place to hide from drones and inspectors. Behind them, the voices of the search team grew distant. But not gone. "We need to move faster," Aaron whispered. Leora nodded, though her strength was fading. She held Mira close, her fingers trembling around her daughter's small hand. Mira was awake but weak, her eyes half open, her breathing shallow. Aaron kept checking her with worried glances. The toxin was spreading faster now. If they didn't reach the healer soon, time would run out. Finally, the tunnel opened into an old maintenance chamber. Rusted pipes hung from the ceiling. Broken machinery, covered in dust, lay scattered across the floor. "This place," Leora whispered. "Is it safe?" "As safe as anything down here," Aaron replied. He led them to a large metal door at the back of the chamber. It was covered in scratches, dents, and faded warning symbols. "This is the entrance to the old supply bunker," Aaron said. "The healer works somewhere past it." Leora carefully adjusted Mira in her arms. "Why is this place abandoned?" Aaron exhaled slowly. "Because of what they used to do here." Before Leora could ask more, Aaron pressed his palm against the scanner. The old panel buzzed, sparking weakly, but after a moment, the heavy door unlocked with a deep metallic groan. They stepped inside. The bunker was colder than the tunnels. Rows of shelves stood in long corridors, filled with dusty crates and sealed boxes labeled with old logos from supply companies that didn't exist anymore. But something else stood out. Cages. Dozens of them. Most empty, but some still locked. Some still stained with old marks. Scratch marks. Bite marks. Signs of panic. Leora froze. This is a prison." "Not a prison," Aaron said quietly. "A testing site." Leora looked at him with fear. "Testing for what?" Aaron swallowed. His voice lowered. For how long alien species could survive on expired human food? Leora's eyes filled with horror. She hugged Mira protectively, pulling her close. "Why would humans do this?" She whispered. "Not all humans," Aaron said. "Just the authorities' research division. They wanted cheap labor from alien colonies. If aliens could eat expired waste, they wouldn't need fresh supplies." Leora felt sick. She looked around at the cages again, imagining mothers, children, workers forced to eat poisoned scraps like her daughter. Aaron walked deeper into the bunker, using his wrist light to search the shelves. "We need to keep moving. The healer's hideout is on the other side." Mira let out a small whine. Leora tried to soothe her, but the girl's skin was turning a deeper shade of blue. "Aaron," Leora said, voice shaking, "she can't wait long." Aaron nodded. "I know." But before he could take another step, the sound of metal clattering echoed from behind the shelves. All three froze. Aaron raised his tool rod defensively. Leora held Mira tighter, her eyes scanning the shadows. Something or someone was moving inside the bunker. Aaron signaled for Leora to stay behind him. Slowly, he stepped around a shelf. A thin, frail alien man with white hair and trembling hands crawled out from behind a crate. His eyes were wide and scared. "Don't hurt me," he whispered. Rin lowered the tool rod. "We're not here to hurt you." The old alien looked at Mira and gasped. "She ate the expired packs, didn't she?" Leora rushed forward. "Yes, she is dying." The old man nodded slowly. "I know what that poison does. I lost my son to it." Leora covered her mouth, tears forming in her eyes. Aaron crouched beside the old man. "Do you know where the healer is? We need him." The old man's expression dimmed. "He's gone." "Gone?" Aaron whispered. "Taken during a raid last week," the old man replied. "But," he pointed toward a locked door at the far end of the bunker. "The healer left something. A cure unfinished, risky. But it may slow the toxin." Aaron didn't wait. He ran to the door, prying it open with his tool rod. Inside was a small lab room with shattered glass, overturned tables, and scattered vials. He searched quickly until he found a small silver container with a glowing blue liquid inside. "This must be it," he said. Liara entered the room, trembling. "Will it help her?" Aaron looked at the vial. "It might. Or it might make her worse." The healer never completed the formula. Liara looked at Mira's pale face. Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Even a chance is better than watching her die." Aaron nodded slowly, but before he could hand her the vial, a deep, mechanical hum shook the bunker. Lights flickered. A red alarm activated. "Unauthorized entry detected. Security forces inbound." Aaron's heart dropped. They had been found. Liara held Mira tightly. "Aaron," she whispered, "what do we do?" Aaron clenched the vial in his hand. "We run," he said. "And we don't stop until Myra has a real cure." He grabbed Liara's hand, because now the entire authority was coming. Asterisk. The red alarm light flashed across the bunker walls like blood splashing over metal. The loud mechanical voice repeated, "Unauthorized entry detected. Security forces inbound." The sound echoed through every corridor, every cage, every rusted pipe. Aaron tightened his grip on the glowing antidote vial, his breath sharp. "They found us," he whispered. Liora held Mira close. The girl's skin was ice-cold now, her breath short and painful. Each time her tiny chest rose, it looked like she was fighting a battle she was losing. Aaron grabbed Liora's hand. "Stay close. Don't fall behind. They'll shoot first and ask later." Liara nodded, though terror shook her body. "Will this cure help her?" Aaron looked at the vial. "It might slow the poison. That's all we need for now. Once we escape, I'll find a real cure." There was no time left to question. Heavy metal footsteps thundered in the distance. The authorities' soldiers were approaching fast. "Move," Aaron said. They ran. The bunker's long corridors echoed with their footsteps. Dust lifted from the floor as they sprinted between old crates and broken cages. Mira whimpered softly, her head pressed against Liora's shoulder. Behind them, flashlights cut through the darkness. Helmeted silhouettes appeared. Target sighted. Human and 2 aliens. "Do not let them escape." Liara looked back and gasped. "They're close." Aaron grabbed the metal crate and shoved it over, blocking the soldiers' path. It bought them seconds, nothing more. "Faster," Aaron urged. They reached a side tunnel, narrow and steep. Aaron pushed Liara inside first and followed. The tunnel sloped downward sharply, forcing them to crawl and slide through dust-coated pipes. Light beams scanned behind them. "Stop running." A soldier's voice roared. "You are violating Human Protection Acts." Aaron gritted his teeth. "They're not protecting anyone." The tunnel ended abruptly in a small drop. Aaron jumped down first, landing hard, then helped Liara lower Mira into his arms. The child barely reacted, her weakness growing worse. Liara landed beside them, breathless. Aaron, her heart beat. "It's so slow." "We're almost out," Aaron said, though his voice cracked a little. He wasn't sure how much longer Myra had. They reached a circular hatch. Aaron pressed the panel. It sparked, but did nothing. "No. No, he muttered. "The power's dead." Footsteps behind them grew louder. "Open it." Liara begged. Aaron slammed his fist on the panel. The old metal finally groaned open. revealing a dark stormwater tunnel ahead. Cold wind blew through the opening. Aaron looked at Leora. This is it. Once we're inside, the scanners will lose our signal. They ran into the stormwater tunnel just as soldiers reached the hatch. Seal all exits. One shouted. Do not let them disappear into the drains. Aaron didn't stop. The tunnel was slippery, wet with old rainwater and grime. Each step felt dangerous, but the only real danger was behind them. A sudden tremor shook the tunnel. What was that? Leora whispered. They activated the sweep drones, Aaron said. They fly through tunnels and push everything out with air pressure. Leora's eyes widened. Everything? Everything. Before either could react, a loud rumbling sound echoed through the pipes. Wind blasted through the tunnel like a hurricane. The drones are here. Aaron shouted. Hold on to something. A powerful wave of air pushed them forward. Aaron slid on the wet ground, gripping a pipe with one hand and holding Mira with the other. Leora grabbed his arm, fear twisting her face. Aaron, Mira, she can't breathe. The wind grew stronger, nearly tearing Mira from Aaron's arms. The child gasped silently, her tiny fingers reaching out, searching for something to hold. Aaron's jaw clenched. I'm not losing her. With strength he didn't know he still had, Aaron pulled both Leora and Mira toward a side grate. He kicked it open, and all three fell into a narrow maintenance crawlspace as the airwave blasted past them. They lay there, gasping for breath. For a moment, everything was silent. Then Mira's body twitched. Leora cried out, holding her. Aaron, she's fading, please do something. Aaron pulled the vial from his pocket. It glowed softly like captured moonlight. This is risky, he warned. The healer never finished it. It might help. Or harm. Leora looked at Myra's face, pale, weak, almost lifeless. Please, she whispered. Give it to her. Aaron nodded. He uncapped the vial and gently placed a drop of the glowing liquid on Myra's tongue. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then Mira gasped sharply, her body arching. A faint glow spread across her skin. Leora panicked. Is she? She's reacting, Aaron said. Her body is fighting the toxin. The glow faded slowly. Mira went still again, but her breathing steadied. Slightly stronger than before, Leora collapsed against Aaron's shoulder. Thank you. Thank you. Aaron placed a hand on her back. We're not safe yet. Above them, the soldiers shouted orders. They went through the grate. Search both tunnels. Aaron stood, lifting Mira gently. The storm isn't over. He helped Leora crawl deeper into the maintenance shaft. One last stretch, Aaron said. Once we reach the outer tunnel, they can't track us. Leora looked at him, her fear turning into something else. Trust. Lead the way. Aaron. He nodded. And together, with Mira between them, they ran again into the storm, into the dark, into danger. But also toward hope. The maintenance shaft grew narrower the deeper Aaron and Leora crawled. Pipes hissed with steam above them, dripping hot droplets that sizzled on the metal floor. Mira rested in Aaron's arms, her small body glowing faintly from the unstable antidote. Though her breathing had steadied, her skin was still pale and fragile. And kept checking her heartbeat with trembling fingers. She's holding on, he whispered. Leora crawled beside him. Her eyes filled with fear and hope mixed together. Will the cure last? No, Aaron admitted. It only slowed the poison. We still need the real cure. Leora's breath shook. But the healer is gone. Aaron looked straight ahead. There's one last place we can go. Before Leora could ask where, a loud crashing sound echoed behind them, the sound of metal being ripped open. They found the grate, Aaron said sharply. We have to move. The narrow shaft led into a wider tunnel. Lights flickered and old cables hung like vines. The air smelled of rust and damp stone. Aaron stood up and adjusted Mira in his arms. Leora stayed close to him as they rushed forward. "We're close," Aaron said. "The old transport tunnel is ahead. If we reach it, we can take the hidden lift to the upper ruins." Leora frowned. "Upper ruins?" Aaron nodded. "There's someone there. Someone who once worked with alien biology." Before they could speak more, a deep metallic hum filled the tunnel. "Drones." I uncursed under his breath. "They sent sweeping drones again. They'll force us out." Wind blasted the tunnel behind them, pushing dust and debris forward. Aaron and Leora ran as fast as they could, stumbling over pipes and broken concrete. The wind became stronger, like a hurricane inside a metal tube. Myra whimpered. Leora grabbed Aaron's arm. "Hold her tight." "I won't let go," Aaron said, gripping the girl with both hands. They reached a fork in the tunnel. Aaron pointed left. "That way." "Hurry!" A sudden burst of wind knocked them sideways. Leora fell hard, scraping her arm. Arin dropped to one knee but didn't let Mira slip from his hold. "Are you okay?" he asked Leora. "Yes," she gasped, pushing herself up. Keep going." They ran again, this time leaning into the wind. The tunnel shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. Pipes rattled like angry snakes. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they emerged into a massive open tunnel, a forgotten transport line once used for cargo trains. Broken rails stretched ahead, vanishing into darkness. At the center stood a rusted lift platform. Aaron's chest tightened with relief. "We made it." But just as he said those words, something moved in the shadows. A cloaked figure stepped out, limping slightly. A dim lantern hung from his hand. Leora tensed. "Who is that?" Aaron stepped forward slowly. "Old Varro." The figure lowered his hood, revealing a tired but sharp-eyed human with silver hair and a thin face. His voice was rough from age and dust. "Aaron Solis," he said. "I heard someone running. Didn't expect it to be you." Leora moved closer to Aaron, unsure of this stranger. Aaron spoke quickly. "Varro, we need help. A child ate expired packs. The poison is inside her blood." The temporary cure slowed it, but Varro's eyes widened as he saw Myra. He put the lantern down and knelt beside Aaron. "She doesn't have much time," he said. "Maybe a few hours before the toxin reaches her heart." Leora gasped, tears filling her eyes. "Please, help her. I'll do anything." Varro looked at the faint glow on Myra's skin. "Where did you get that unstable serum?" "The healer from the old bunker left it behind," Aaron said. Varro sighed. "I taught him. That was an early formula, incomplete. Can you fix it?" Aaron asked urgently. Varro stood, grabbing old crates and opening them. Inside were scattered vials, powders, and old tools. "I can try," he said. "But I need time." A distant clatter echoed through the tunnels, soldiers entering the transport line. Aaron stiffened. "We don't have time." Varro glanced at the approaching sound. "I'll work fast. But someone must keep them away." "I will," Aaron said without hesitation. Leora turned to him. "No, if you fight them alone." Aaron placed Mira gently in Leora's arms. "I won't let them take you." "Or her." Leora grabbed his hand. "Why do you risk so much for us?" Aaron looked at her with pain in his eyes. "Because once, I lost someone I loved to hunger. No one helped us. No one cared. I won't let it happen again." Leora's heart ached at his words. Varro began mixing the ingredients urgently. "Go, Aaron. Buy me 10 minutes." Aaron nodded and took a sharp metal rod from the ground. He ran toward the noise, positioning himself between the soldiers and the lift platform. Leora watched him go, fear twisting inside her. Mira stirred softly, whispering, "Aaron?" Leora held her daughter close and whispered back, He's fighting for you. Behind them. Varro's hands worked quickly over the glowing mixture. Ahead of them. Aaron faced the oncoming soldiers alone. The battle between two worlds was about to begin. Asterisk. Metal boots thundered through the old transport tunnel as the Authority soldiers advanced with bright flashlights slicing through the darkness. Aaron stood alone between them and the rusted lift platform where Varro worked on the cure and Leora held Mira tightly. He gripped the metal rod in his hand even though he knew he was outnumbered, outmatched and unarmed in any real sense. But he didn't move. Not an inch. One of the soldiers stepped forward. "Human citizen Aaron Solis," the officer barked, "you are ordered to surrender the illegal aliens and step aside." Aaron didn't blink. "No," the soldier raised his weapon. "Move or we will fire." Aaron tightened his grip on the rod. "If you fire, you'll hit the child behind me." The soldiers hesitated. Aaron took one step forward, putting himself fully in their line of sight. "Leave them alone," he said. "They've done nothing wrong." The officer scoffed. "The aliens stole food. Violated Regulation 12. Ate expired human waste. They are criminals." Aaron's blood boiled. "They are starving mothers and children, not criminals." The officer lifted his weapon again. "You are helping the enemy." Aaron shook his head slowly. "If helping a dying child makes me the enemy, then maybe you're fighting the wrong war." Silence hung heavy for a moment. Then the officer raised his hand. "Take him." The soldiers charged. Aaron braced himself. The first soldier swung. Aaron dodged and hit him across the helmet. Another lunged from the left. Aaron blocked the hit with his metal rod. Sparks flying. But Aaron was only one man, and they were many. A blow struck Aaron's back. He staggered but didn't fall. Another soldier kicked his leg, and he dropped to one knee. His vision blurred. Pain radiated through his ribs. Still, he rose again and shouted, "Leora! Don't come out." Leora's voice echoed from the platform, desperate. "Aaron, stop. You'll die." But Aaron didn't stop. Another soldier slammed him against the wall. Aaron's head hit the metal hard. Pain exploded behind his eyes. Blood trickled down his forehead. The officer pointed a stun baton at him. "If you resist again, we end you." Aaron wiped the blood from his eye and whispered, "I'm not letting you take her." The officer stepped closer. "Why? Why risk everything for aliens?" Aaron looked straight into his eyes. "Because I've known what it feels like to starve," he said quietly. "I've known what it feels like to lose someone you love. And no one cared. No one helped." His voice grew stronger. "I won't let another child die when I can still fight." The officer hesitated, just long enough for a loud shout to echo from behind him. "Stop!" Varro stood on the lift platform, holding a glowing vial in his hand. The cure shimmered like captured starlight. Leora stood beside him, supporting Mira, who was barely conscious. The officer turned. "Step back." Varro ignored him. His voice boomed through the tunnel. "If you kill Aaron, you will commit a crime against your own law." "What law?" The officer snapped. "The Human Protection Act," Varro said loudly. Aaron was under orders. "He is escorting sick alien refugees to medical aid." Leora blinked in surprise. Aaron stared, breathless. The officer frowned. "You lie." Varro lifted a data tablet, an old device, cracked but still functional. "Check your system." Aaron Solis filed an emergency labor request last month. It was auto-approved but never processed due to your office's error. The soldiers checked their scanners. The officer's face darkened. On the screen, Aaron's name appeared with a faded digital stamp, emergency aid, permission, Pendinga loophole, a legal shield. Aaron's lie had become truth. The soldiers lowered their weapons one by one. Varro continued. "Interfering with an approved citizen during emergency aid is a breach of the authority's own code." The officer clenched his jaw, trapped by his own laws. Finally, he gave a slow, angry nod. "Fine," he growled. "Take the aliens and go. But this will not end here." He signaled his team to retreat. One by one, the soldiers disappeared into the shadows, their footsteps fading into distant echoes. Aaron collapsed to his knees, breathing hard. Leora ran to him, Mira still in her arms. "Aaron!" she cried, pulling him close. "You're hurt." He winced but smiled weakly. "You're safe. That's what matters." Varro knelt beside them and held out the glowing vial. "Here, this is the finished cure. It's stable now." Leora gently placed the liquid on Myra's tongue. A soft glow spread through her body, not chaotic or wild like before, but warm and gentle. Her breathing steadied. Her color returned. Her small fingers wrapped around her mother's hand with strength they hadn't felt in hours. Leora sobbed with relief. "Thank you. Aaron, thank you." Aaron wiped a tear from her cheek with shaking fingers. "She's going to be okay." Mira looked at him weakly and whispered, "Aaron." "Family." Aaron's breath caught. Leora looked at him too, eyes full of gratitude. "You saved her. You saved us. Why?" Aaron smiled softly. "Because someone has to show this world that humans can do more than harm." Leora leaned her forehead against his. "You changed our lives." Aaron shook his head. "No, you changed mine." In the days that followed, word spread about the cruelty in the slums, about expired food experiments, and about a human engineer who stood against an entire authority squad. To save 2 alien lives, the council summoned Aaron, Leora, Mira, and Varro. After hearing the full truth, they ended the expired food system and granted full protection to alien families, and Mira live.safe.healthy.hopeful.in walked out of the council hall that day with Myra holding his hand and Leora smiling beside him on a world filled with fear, lies, and hunger. One human's kindness changed everything. And that became the story Zithara 9 would never forget.